seated position. We can have the feet in Baddasana, or if comfortable for you, you can come to a cross-legged position, or even a half lotus. If you are in half lotus, maybe switch the cross of your legs, so whichever one you go to habitually, change to the opposite one. Okay. So do send me a message if there's anything in this class that pops up, because you're all black screen, so I'm not sure why that is, but I do think you can see and hear me. So anything, just drop a little message and it'll pop up for me. So let's place the hands onto the knees. Roll the shoulders back a bit just to open up the heart, but then draw the belly button in to lengthen the spine. Close the eyes and find your breath. Deep inhales through the nose and out through the nose or mouth if you prefer at this point. Inhales that literally expand the rib cage from the side, that lift you, that fill the whole body, and that really bring us into the space that we're in, onto our mats and into our practice. And start to connect with your body. Any small sensations. Just observing the breath. So observe the breath as it comes in and as it comes out. I've been working a lot with the breath this week. Seeing if you can slow down the inhale and the exhale to really observe every part of it and feel it move through every part of the body. And just notice that as we observe the breath, it slows it down. The more we observe it. It naturally brings us into our bodies. And flickering the eyes open. Let's go straight into abs. Come onto your back. Bring the feet up above you. Let's go straight into our cardio gun abs. Index finger points up, other fingers wrap around the hand, and we're flexing the heels to the ceiling. So we're literally pushing the soles of the feet up to the ceiling. It creates a little lift of the sit bones. Lift the shoulder blades up too. Feel that core kick in straight away. We're going to drop the right leg halfway, point the fingers to the left side of the left leg. Let's go for 15 today. Take a deep inhale. Try and keep the left foot over the left hip. Don't worry if it moves a little bit. So we're going to go for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Think about the down as well as the up. 10, 9, slow down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Bring the right foot up to join the left. Left leg drops. Hands right side, right leg. Deep inhale. And again, 15, 14. Keep going. 13, 12, 11, 10. Keep going. 9, 8, 7, I can't see any of you, better be doing your abs. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Lift the feet both back up. Take a little bend into the knees. We're going to rock up onto the sit bones. Lifting ourselves up onto the sit bones, coming into boat position. The hands are going to be parallel with the floor. The knees can be bent, or we can extend one leg, or maybe both. As you do, see if you can lift the heart up, roll the shoulders down away from the ears, and really extend through the balls and heels of feet. So extending the whole legs away from us, feeling that in the hip flexors, not just the core. Often moves into the quads. Staying with it. You can bend your knees at any time you need. We're going to roll back onto our back, little bend in the knees, roll back down onto your back. Let's lift the legs back up. We're just going to do some leg drops. We're going to extend the hands out behind us. The head stays on the floor, the hands are lifted. I'm going to drop my right leg, just my right leg, that's hovering off the floor. Nice opportunity just to reconnect with the breath. Seeing where it goes for you. The breath can literally guide us in our practice. Trying to tap into that. Right leg lift. Let's drop the left leg. Keep flexing through the right heel and the left heel, especially the right. And then let's bring that left leg up, a little bend into the knees, roll over onto one side that feels good for you, and lift yourself up onto your hands and your knees, hands and knees. So the shoulders are over the wrists. And we're going to come down onto our forearms. If you want to set up properly, you would wrap your palms around your biceps, keep the elbows where they are, and then bring the wrists back in line with the elbows. So instantly we start to feel the pecs engage, root the shoulders down, tuck the toes, my hips are over my knees. Deep inhale into my upper back, we're moving into a dolphin. Push the ground away, keep the forearms rooted and lift the hips up. Check in that the shoulders are active and they're over the elbows. Release the neck, we don't need to hold on to the neck here. Gazing towards. A little bend in the knees is fine at this point. If you want to extend the legs, you can. If you want to walk feet in a little bit further, that feels really nice too, strong on the shoulders. Find a spot that feels good for you to stick with for another 4 breaths, here. That's 1. Dolphin. 2. 3. And 4. Walk the feet back, bring the knees down. Place the hands on the mat, maybe a little bit wider. Lift the knees back up, we're coming to a down-facing dog. Down-facing dog. Might be nice to walk the feet up and down, bending into the knees, just feeling into the body. Making sure we're not sinking into the shoulders, we're really finding length. Strong shoulders wrapped around the body, rooting the underside of the knuckles down. We're going to walk the feet in between the hands, take as long as you want to get there. Forward folding, let the head and neck go uttasana at the front of the mat. Lift the toes up, stay in your forward fold, lift the toes up and then place them back onto the mat. Check that the feet are underneath the hips. We're going to rise to standing, deep inhale to rise to standing. Put the tailbone, exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Let's move straight into our vinyasas. Come to the front of the mat. If you're not there already, yeah, got my whole head in now. Come to the front of the mat. Surrender the palms in front of you. Link the hands behind you. Take a little bend into the knees. As you open up in the shoulders, inhale, create space. Really squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you. If that pinches at all, just back off. So squeeze the shoulder blades together. Expose the heart. Lift the ribs up. As you forward fold, keep a bend in the knees. So working with lower back pain, keep a little bend in the knees. If you feel comfortable, you can extend the legs straight here. Keep reaching the knuckles up above you. We're going to bring the hands to the floor, bend into the knees again if it helps you get there. Frame the foot. Keep hands there, running lunge. Step the right foot back so the hand stays where it is. Gaze up, so find length by gazing up. And the hips together in your running lunge. We are going to lift the left leg for a one-legged plank. So step that left leg back, lift it up, one-legged plank. Shoulders over the wrist. I'm going to bring that left foot to the floor and flow down carefully. Knees, no rush. Hips go up, chest comes down, elbows squeeze together, chest and chin. Hands forward, legs back, low cobra. Really feel the hips root and the ribs lift in low cobra. So the ribs lift out, shoulders root back and down. And we use the hands to lift ourselves up. You can go as deep as you want here. Keep the elbows bent though, low cobra still. Little grip of the mat. As we pull ourselves back, we'll find a bit of extension in the lower spine. Back to the floor, hands under shoulders, tuck your toes and push carefully using the shoulders to a down facing dog. Down facing dog. We're going to lift the right leg up, three-legged dog. We're going to open up our hips, so it depends how far you want to go, either keeping the hip here or rolling it open on top of the left. You can keep a bend in the knee or extend the leg straight. I like a bend in the knee. My left arm is slightly bent as well. My fingertips are going to walk forward. Back to a down-facing dog. All four limbs are down. And then step the right foot forward, exhaling. Step it forward, squeeze it tight, close to the body as you do. Right foot forward, hands up, low lunge, low lunge. Hands part to the floor, take a forward fold again at the front of the mat. Feel for the hips being over the feet, let the head and neck go. You can lift the toes up and then bring them back onto the floor so that when you come up, you really feel the strength needed to lift yourself back up all the way to spine. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Becky's having a right little chuckle in the kitchen on her own. Interlace the hands behind you. I've got some pictures. Nice. Open the chest. Really lift the chest. Keep that bend in the knees if you want as you forward fold. You can rest on the thighs if it feels nice or extend the legs. Hands come to the floor, either side of the foot. Keep the hands grounded. Step that left foot back to a lunge. We can lift the back knee, but we're still looking at the arms as straight as they can be. Right foot lifts, one-legged plank. Keep it lifted for a bit, keeping the shoulders over the wrists and keeping the hips square. Right foot grounds as we exhale. Knees, chest, chin, inhale, hand forward, legs back, low cobra. Really wrap the shoulders back and lift the chest up in your low cobra. So it's the back muscles that are working here. I mean, the hands are, if I move my hands away, I'm likely to fall, but I'm really using my upper body to hold myself here. Back to the floor, hands under shoulders, your toes, and push to down facing dog. It's a left foot that lifts, three-legged dog. Keep it here or roll it open. Left hip stacks, left fingertips walk forward, little bend in the right arm. Left foot roots on the floor again, back to down facing dog. And as we exhale, we squeeze the left knee tight close to the body, step it forward, drop the right knee, low lunge, Anjaneyasana, hands up as we inhale. Hands through the heart to the floor, take a forward fold, exhaling everything. Observe the depth of your inhale and how it helps us rise to standing. Inhale, rise to standing. And exhale everything. Tuck the tailbone, hands at the heart. In, bend into the knees, open the shoulders. Exhale, forward fold. Now keep Hands interlaced in this shoulder opener position. Helps to take a little bend. We're going to step the right foot back to a high lunge. Right foot steps back, high lunge. Right knee stays lifted. Nice shoulder opener here. Really open the chest. Now lift the hips a little bit. Tuck the tailbone and feel as you tuck the tailbone and extend the ribs up, the stability that we can find in the position. Mama. Yeah. What? It stopped. Okay, let me put something else on for you. Bring the hands to the floor to find that running lunge again. So back to the running lunge. In our running lunge, push the ground away from you to open up the upper back, that bit between the shoulder blades. Now step to a legged plank, keeping that strength in the shoulders. Left leg lifts. One-legged plank. Holding it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and drop the left leg. Careful there, hop darling. Come down, knees and chest and chin. Hands go forward, legs go back. Low cobra. Really lift the ribs, low cobra. Keep your shoulders strong. Exhale back to the floor. Hands under shoulders. Tuck your toes. Push to down facing dog. I'd like to hold down facing dog for a few breaths. Come on then, you. Go. Down face dog. Right leg lifts. Three-legged dog. Little bend in that right knee to open up the position. Maybe walking the fingertips forward on the right side. So where that breath goes, find that space between the ribs, over that right hip. Let's ground both hands. We're just going to tap that left elbow 3 times as we exhale. 1. You can open up fully if you want. 2. Shoulders for the wrists as we do. And last one. 3. Inhale to open it up. As we exhale, this time we step it forward. Low lunge. Drop the back knee, hands up above us. In our low lunge, let's hold it here for a second. Hands are up above us. Bring the hands into prayer position. And now do reverse prayer position. Send the hands down the back. Reach the elbows up and feel that work into the shoulders. If you want up level, you can lift the back knee. If you're fine, you're quite comfortable here. Keep pushing the hands together. Don't let the shoulders open or the elbows open. Reach them up to the ceiling. And exhale, hands to heart, to floor. Take a forward fold, front of the mat. Exhale everything. Inhale, root the feet. Rise to stand, use the breath. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Let's keep flowing. Catch the hands behind you. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, take a forward fold. Little bend of the knees, helps to step left foot back, lift up. Again, really feel the lift of the hips, the tuck of the tailbone, the stability in this position. Hands to the floor. Lift your right leg up for a one-legged plank. Create that rounding between the shoulder blades. So really holding the strength for 5, 4, 3, 2, and drop that right foot. Come down, exhaling, knees, chest and chin. Hands forward, legs back, low cobra. Exhale, back to the floor. Hands under your shoulders. Tuck your toes and push to down facing dog, drawing belly button back in down facing dog as you ride up to really look after the lower back. A squeeze of the belly button always helps. Engagement of the lower core. Down facing dog. We're lifting the left leg for a 3-legged dog. We're going to roll that left hip up and open. Maybe coming onto the left fingertips. Little bend in the right elbow as well. Might feel okay just to hold it here, or go for the taps. Ground both hands. Exhale to tap. Left knee to right elbow once. And open all the way if you want. Twice. And open. 3 times. And open it up. This time we step it forward to that low lunge, exhaling, squeeze it through the whole way. Drop the back knee, hands up above us. Find your breath. Bring the hands to prayer position. Reverse prayer position. Bring the hands to just under the neck. And reach the elbows up. Keep the hips square. You can lift that right knee. If you do, keep lifting the chest and the elbows up. Maybe you're just comfortable enough here. You don't have to gaze to the ceiling. You can gaze forward if it becomes intense. And then hands through heart to floor. Take a forward fold, front of the mat. Let everything go. Exhale. Root the feet down. Inhale, rise to standing. And exhale, hands meet back at the heart. Come to the floor. Come to the floor. Just checking in, you guys have still got me. Engage you at my end. I hope you have. We're going to come to the floor. We're going to come into an active child pose, and then we're going to get into puppy. So by doing this, it gives you levels of your ability to go into. So I'm just going to slowly, my knees are quite close together, come into a child pose position. I'm not going to stay here too long. I'm going to start to crawl my fingers forward. As I do, my hips are coming up over my knees. It might be that you're comfortable here. It might be that you're comfortable walking a little bit farther forward. So see if you can maybe tuck your toes if you want a little bit more engagement. Don't sink too far down if you're looking to stabilize the lower back. If you're stabilizing the lower back, you maybe want to keep the forearms grounded, because then you're not creating that stretch. If you're looking for the length, walk the hands forward and sink the heart down. Take a throat arm stretch, coming into that puppy dog stretch. Ground your hands, arms, maybe bring your hands underneath your shoulders to lift yourself back up, and then come straight onto your bellies. I'm going to start twisting around so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to bring my arms into a T-like shape. T-like shape. So arms in a T-like shape is level 1. If you want to intensify it, and it does intensify it, you bring your arms into that goalpost shape. So either straight arms or up level is goalpost shape. We're going to roll over that right hand side. So my foot is either going to come behind me, which you can see, or as I roll over, I'm going to bring that foot in front. Again, that really intensifies it. So you're going to be feeling an extremely deep opening in your right shoulder girdle here. If you want to take the pressure off, that left leg just steps behind you. Also, you can put your block or your cushion underneath your head, and that'll take a little bit of the stretch off as well. Notice the more you push into the left hand, the deeper the stretch will go. Nice opportunity to close your eyes. We're going to slowly roll out of it, whichever way you came into it. And then we're going to go on to the other side. Left arm extends into T-shape, or making that goalpost shape. And then we're rolling over onto that left hip. Notice my whole body or my whole arm shifts a couple of inches as I do. You can either bring that right foot behind you or in front of you. That head can rest on the floor or on a block. Really, really delicious opening around the shoulders and the chest. So we're rolling onto our left side now. I'm just going to come onto a side that you guys can see. Your arms either a goalpost shape or straight out. A really nice opportunity to connect the breath, to see if you can deepen it. Notice as you slow the breath down, you can really observe the areas you're working on. 2 more breaths. Carefully rolling back onto your belly, onto your bellies. I'm going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to lift ourselves up onto our knees, and then we're going to come into a camel position. So maybe pad the under your knees a little bit if it feels comfortable. I'm going to tuck my toes. We're not going into a full camel, we're going to come into a supported camel. So when we come into a supported camel, we're going to push the sacrum with the fingers pointing upwards. So place your hands, the heels of your hands, right on the base of your spine. What I often instruct in this position is to really thrust the hips forward. We do want to thrust the hips forward, but we also want to encourage the bones to all kind of meet in the middle. So we squeeze it all together. We don't tuck the tailbone too much up. We actually want it to drive down. So place your hands on the base of your spine. Don't let the shoulders or the elbows come out. We're squeezing them all behind the spine. The chin can stay tucked to the chest at this point. And again, inhale, lift the ribs up. Really open the whole chest area up and out towards the ceiling. You'll be feeling this again in your shoulders. We're not feeling too much pressure in the toes. In fact, I can almost lift my toes up. I'm not instructing you guys to do it. Just want you to see we're not feeling too much pressure there. We're just lifting up. And then let's release the position carefully, carefully, carefully. Bring the sit bones back down into the heels. Untuck your toes. Mommy. Down facing dog. Carefully. In what? That's so nice. Down facing dog. Let the head go, let the neck go. Just take a few feeling breaths here. And come back onto your knees. Pad your mat again. Now grab your block or your hoodie or whatever it is. Place it between your thighs. Tuck your toes. Your choice. You can go a little bit deeper here or you can stay with a supported camel. Whatever you do, I want you to squeeze the block. And as you squeeze it, you'll feel that meeting in the middle feeling. So we are thrusting, but we're also driving the front line of the pubic bones down. So maybe you want to stay supported. Or maybe you want to come half camel, catching one ankle, and half camel, catching the other. Whatever works for you at this point of your practice. Again, I'm keeping the neck in line with the spine. There is a tendency, and it feels nice sometimes, to drop the head back, but there's no real gain in that for the position. It's a more supportive position, and we're more active, and also able to breathe when the head stays lifted. If you came into a full camel, it's nice to come out through half camel. Otherwise, lift yourself back up, hands meet apart. Take the block away from in between the thighs, and we'll all meet back in a down-facing dog. Down-facing dog. Let the head go, let the neck go. Lengthening into the spine, making sure we're not sinking into the shoulders. Down-facing dog. Your choice. You can either step, hop, or however you want to get to the front of the mat. Lift the heels, bend the knees, and hop forward to a gazing pose. Hands on the floor, spine is long. We're gazing forward. We're opening up in the throat. So we don't want to arch in the back. We want to find length. And hands come to the floor. Exhale everything. Take a forward fold. And then step the feet one at a time back to the back of the mat. We're in a plank. And we'll just meet on the floor. Knees, chest, chin maybe. Body's flat on the floor. So we're going to come into a cobra, but we're going to come into it carefully, really supported. We're not going to lift straight up into it. I'd like you all to place the hands flat down, just above your belly button line. Just above the belly button line. I'd like you to lift your left leg up, reach it back, and then place it back on the floor. Lift your right leg up, reach it back, and then place it on the floor. Activate your legs towards the ground. Keep the gaze low. All we're doing at this point is lifting the shoulders. And just notice that lift. So the shoulders are leaving their position here. And then come back down. We're going to do that again. Inhale, lift the shoulders. Exhale. So now this time we are going to come up. As you lift the shoulders, squeeze them back towards each other. Squeeze them back towards each other. Squeeze the elbows in towards the body. My arms are still bent. I'm really using my hands. I can come up fully if I want at this point. It's up to you. Just listen to your body. Thighs are active. Shins and the feet are pushing into them. Again, I'm not arching all the way back at this point. Just staying supported. I've come back to a little bend in my arms quite naturally. If I do extend, it feels good, but I also feel I'm getting just as deep a back bend with a bend in my arm because of the lift. Exhale, let's come all the way back to the floor, nice and carefully. Hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, push to down facing dog, down facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior one. Warrior one. So my right knee is over my ankle, hips are square, hands up above it. Squeezing up. Warrior one. Edge of left foot pushes firmly into mat. Right knee is over right ankle. The hips won't be perfect before, but often it helps to feel that they're facing that direction. Bring the hands through the heart to the floor, ball of the back foot, and push back to a plank again. Come back to the floor, knees and chin. We're going to start on the left side. The right side is going to come into a Sphinx position. Sphinx, my right shoulder is over my right elbow, and my forearm is out in front of it. I'm tucking my right toes. I'm going to come into a half bow just on my left side. So this is maybe where you might have the strap to come in handy. Otherwise, I'd like you to reach back and catch the ankle. Don't worry at this point if you're holding on inside or outside. Outside is going to be slightly less of a stretch. It won't be as intense. Inside is going to open up in the shoulders more. So if you're comfortable holding on inside, shoulder rolls open so the thumb points up towards the ceiling. Keep the chest forward. It's really important here. And tuck the toes on the right side. We can push into that left foot and pushing that pubic bone down into the mat. I'm rolling both shoulders back. Still lifting my chest up. We're not going to hold this too long. And release carefully, carefully, carefully release all the way down. Put the hands under the shoulders and just momentarily push yourself back to a child pose, just momentarily. Head to the floor, child pose. Back shoulders over the wrists. Let's switch sides. So it's going to be the left side that comes into that Sphinx position with the toes tucked. Yeah. And the right side that we're going to hold on to. So maybe the right thumb points up towards the ceiling. Left toes are tucked, remember. And maybe we're just working towards catching these back feet. That's fine. Try to keep the left elbow grounded, but don't worry if it lifts up. Maybe we can push into that back foot And lift that right knee up off the floor a bit. Again, we're feeling a deep opening in that right shoulder. I am tucking my tailbone and hips down towards the floor. That tuck on the left toes keeps that left leg active and looks after the lower spine. And then let's release. Release slowly, slowly, hands under the shoulders. Tuck your toes and push to down facing dog position. Left foot steps forward, warrior one. Left foot forward, warrior one. Check the forward. Take your time to get to the right position. Taking a few feeling breaths in our warriors. Really strong hold. Hands come through heart to floor, ball, back foot to help us get there, and then push yourself back to a plank position. Knees, chest, chin all the way down. Moving into a bow. Bend into the knees. You can reach back one at a time, or maybe you can reach back both together. Maybe you wrap your strap around your ankles and have something to hold to. Flex your feet. Again, the flexing of the feet stabilizes the lower back and the leg area. Use an inhale to lift as you push your hands into your feet or feet into your hands, and feel opening in the shoulders as you lift yourself up. Imagine that you are squeezing that block, not so much that the knees come in fully, there's just an engagement, like a magnetism between the knees and the feet. Few more breaths here. Taking yourself down if you need to at any point. Breathing space into the heart area. Really feel the breath coming in and out of the body. Stay with your breath. Don't stop breathing, especially in these strong holds. And carefully release. Carefully, no rush to come down. Hands under shoulders. Tuck your toes, come onto the knees first if it feels good, or straight to down facing dog. Like really rooting the hands and lengthening into the spine. Down facing dog position. And come onto your knees. We're going to come into some puppy dog twist. So we did a little puppy dog before. Keep the tucked. Bring the left hand just under the head or just slightly to the left. We're going to thread the right hand through, but first we're going to open the right hand up to the ceiling. And now exhale, thread it through. Right hand thread through. You can sit back if it's too much for you, or if you want a deep stretch, you keep the hips over the knees and send this right hand as far through as you can. This left hand can reach up over the body, or it can rest. Pushing into the ground is where I like it. If really enjoying a nice shoulder opener, this left hand can reach around and hold on to the inside of your right thigh. Place the left hand back down. To help you get back up, take a moment here. Hands and knees, shoulders are over the wrists. Sometimes it feels nice to round that bit between the shoulder blades up to the ceiling and draw the pelvic floor muscles in, mula bandha. Let's switch sides. The right hand comes just under the head. Left hand reaches up to the ceiling. And exhale, we spread that left hand through the hole. Bring the left ear to the floor. Hand can push. If that feels nice, reach over, or that right hand can reach all the way around, taking a hold of the inside of the left thigh. Connect with your breath. Listen to your own body. Where's the breath? What's the breath telling you? Place that right hand back down. Lift ourselves back up onto all fours. Take a moment. And exhale, down facing dog. Roll the shoulders around the body in your down facing dog position. Lift the feet, lift the heels, bend into the knees, hop, step or jump to the front of your mat, gazing pose. Exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale, in a moment, we're going to rise to standing. Stay here if you can. When you rise to standing, it might be nice to add a little back bend in at the top. Be mindful in your back bend. Lift toes, root the feet down. Inhale, rise to standing. Once lifted, we can maybe arch the body back. And exhale, hands back at the heart. Let's flow through. We're nearly at our apex. Inhale, surrender the palms in front of you. Take a little bend into the knees. Close the eyes. Find your breath. Feel the awareness in the chest and the shoulders. Exhale, hands at the heart. Maybe you want to flicker the eyes open now, straightening the legs, gaze up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands forward, take the forward fold. Maybe draw the belly button into the spine. Your choice, hop, step, or jump back to a plank position. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or if you're going into chaturanga, see if you can literally send the shoulders forward, so when you bend into the arms, they're almost parallel with the body as you bring yourself down. So knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, up facing dog, shifting the body forward and coming onto the tops of the feet, or low cobra. And then push, exhale, down, facing dog, holding your down, facing dogs. Yeah?
I want to tell you something.
What?
That's what I have on.
Oh, wow. Red.
My pass is gone.
Oh, you're past it up. Down facing dogs. Step your right foot forward. High lunge. Knee stays lifted in high lunge. Hands up above us. Let's add a nice brain cradle in at this point. Feel the benefits of your practice when you come into this brain cradle. Really brace the back of the head. What we were practicing, keeping the hips a little higher, just a little higher, and that's look at the tailbone to really stabilize the position. So bringing that brain cradle in, lifting the chest up, arching the head back in, keeping the strength in that back. Elbows point up, they don't square open. Inhale, come back to neutral. Hands to the floor, push the body back to a plank position. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, up facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, down, facing dog. Left side, left foot steps forward. High lunge, hands up above us. Find the breath, inhale. Has it gone up again? Interlace your hands. Brain cradle, lift the hips at the tailbone. Lift the ribs up. Come on. Left foot forward. We're in a brain cradle. If you are there already, now's a good time to come out of it carefully, drawing the belly button back into the base of the spine as you do to really stabilize the position. Hands to the floor, push back to a plank, hold plank, strong plank, shoulders are over the wrists, round into that bit between the shoulder blades, open the back up. It feels really nice here. And then come down, knees, chest, and chin. So this is our apex. We're going to have a couple of choices. King Cobra or a full wheel. King Cobra. In King Cobra, we're going to bring the hands underneath the shoulders, but a little bit further back, it deepens the position. In King Cobra, really important, tucking my toes and sending my knees a little wider. Not so wide as the mat, just a little wider. And when you do come up in King Cobra, it's a deep back bend. So just back off if the body tells you to. In King Cobra, let the shoulders lead the way and bend into the knees to get there. As you push the ground away, we're pushing, we're pushing, we're squeezing the elbows towards the body. And then we can, in King Cobra, drop the head back. Exhale to carefully come down. If you want to stay in it, if you want to keep going back to it, King Cobra, listen to your body. Try and find that soft, subtle, but still strong that comes in and out of the body, so you don't want to lose your breath in King Cobra. If at any point you need a rest in an extended child pose. And when you're there, imagine like I'm pulling your hips back so you can use your hands to pull your hips back. I wish I could see you all. Or if anyone wants to not do King Cobra and you want to work with a full wheel, come onto your back, bring your feet in towards your body. You can work with half bridge, just lifting the body up and curling it back down maybe. That might be nice for you if King Cobra or full wheels. Maybe you want to hold it there. Otherwise, you can invert the fingers, push the feet into the floor, and lift the body up. This might be a nice position. Maybe you can walk the feet closer and the hands closer. You could play around lifting one leg up, or maybe you're just ready for a little bit of a rest. You've got a minute or two. I'm just going to let you play around with that for the minute that you've got, or two or three. We're building up quite a lot of intensity in the body, a lot of energy. So just be aware of that. It's a good energy that we're building up, it's a strong energy. Give yourself rest when you need to. King Cobra. So making this the last couple of breaths from your King Cobra or your full wheel. Come onto your back, so not coming onto our backs fully yet. There, we will need our block or our hoodie or whatever it is. We're going to do a short round of abs just because supporting the lower back, especially when we're doing back bends, requires strong core in the right places. And this specific set of abs is really good supporting us with that. So place your block or your hoodie or whatever it is in between your thighs, abs with a block. Interlace your fingers. Flex your heels towards the ceiling. Place your hands under the base of your skull. Take a deep inhale. Hold the breath, tuck the tailbone up, squeeze the block. As you're squeezing the block, keep flexing the feet and exhale. Lift the chest up towards the ceiling. Squeeze the block some more and suck the belly button down to the base of the spine. If you can, let the heavy in the hands. Inhale, lower the tailbone and the shoulder blades back down. Hold the breath, tuck tailbone up, squeeze block. Exhale, lift the chest up. The tailbone will drop a bit, but try and keep it lifted. Keep squeezing the block, lifting the chest up. Suck the belly button down to the base of the spine as you squeeze the block. I'm going to do one more with you. Lower the tailbone and shoulder blades back down. Hold the breath. Tuck tailbone up. Exhale. Squeeze the block. Flex the heels. Lift the chest up. Head heavy on the hands. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Tuck the belly button down. Wrap the shoulders and the elbows. I'd like you to do one more on your own. Inhale, lower back down. Hold the breath. Tuck the tailbone up. Squeeze the block. Suck belly button down. Lift chest up, but engage shoulders back. Heavy in the hands. And inhale, release. Release the position. So we're going to come into a supine twist before we take our relaxation. What I'd just like to show you something that you may or may not want to do later tonight or just after your practice. If you do it, it's just something that might take up to 10 minutes. So I don't want to do it in the class with only having an hour. What you do is you get a mat and you'd roll it up. So I rolled my mat into 3 segments. Doesn't matter how you do it. And then you roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it like this. You end up with this kind of thing. I'm going to place my mat. I'm going to unroll a bit of it. This is going to go in this area here, underneath my ribs, just above my hips. I'm going to release that a bit. That's quite a lot, depending on how intense it is. Obviously, if you're pregnant or if you've just eaten, it's never a good idea either. Carefully lower yourself down. So this is crocodile position when you rest your head on both of your hands. So we're adding this the rolled up mat or something in. And what you want to do is you want to tuck your tailbone down over the mat. And it really cleanses your whole abdominal area. You can do little lifts. It's quite intense when you do. If you can come into this position and just rest for 5 or 10 minutes or however long you've got to practice to do something like that, if you would like. You'll often feel your heartbeat. That's because it's on a major artery down there, so it is a blood stop. Feels really nice when you get that fresh flow of blood afterwards. I would like you all to come onto your backs now, and if you have something warm or something cozy that you want to have by you, because we will be moving to our relaxation from coming into our supine twist. Carefully bring yourself back on the floor. Extend your right leg out. Squeeze your
Rosie, you're muted.
Oh, that's interesting. You seemed to mute me after an hour. I think I had last week. That must be a new thing. Sorry, guys. Thanks, Harriet. So I'm not sure how far you got there, but I was saying make sure you do both sides. It's allowing the breath to guide your practice at this point. And inhale, come back to center. If you're not there already, I think everyone's frozen on me actually again. So we're back at center. I'm going to keep talking. Relaxation. Closing your eyes. Just letting the body be heavy on the floor. Everything can rest. Feeling the breath coming in and out of the nose. Just observing the bullet point, the observation, no need to react. Enjoying the sensation of the practice. Let the heart rest. Shoulders open, jaw is soft, eyeballs relax behind the eyelids. And the whole body can rest. The lips are gently touching. Bring in deeper breath back into the body, in through the nose. Feel the expansion in every single cell. Maybe moving the fingers, moving the toes, rocking your head from side to side. Carefully, mindful of the lower spine, the whole spine. After a background practice, bring the feet to the floor and gently, maybe bringing the knees in towards the body, giving yourself a little squeeze, a little rock, moving in a way that feels good for you. When you're ready, carefully picking yourself back up to your comfortable seated position, Sukhasana. Lengthening the spine, keeping the space in the heart and the openness in the shoulders. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Rosie.